Hello again, Knights fans, and welcome to the 7th edition of the 2016 Knights Baseball Roundup. I'm Tommy Mead here, as always, with head coach Gary Puccio. Coach, 2 weeks, split a non-conference series with NYIT last week. You sit at 11-10 on the year as we approach the start of April. Your next game will be in April, Friday against Sacred Heart. Let's take a look back at those 4 games. You split both days as well. You lost the first game on Friday. What'd you see out of your team in that game?
Yeah, we've actually won, 10 games in the month of March. It's pretty good. We'll take that. 11 wins heading into April is not too shabby. First game against New York Tech was the 6-3 loss. That was a tough game. I think we came back to 4-3, and I had Ryan Brennan pinch hit in the bottom of the 6th with 2 men on, and he ended up striking out, I think, and with 2 out. And of course, the next game, first inning, he hits a 3-run homer. So which obviously helped propel us in the second game. But the second game, I think we won 11-1, so we didn't necessarily need the 3-run homer there. We needed it back in the first game. But we're playing a lot of guys right now because we got some guys hurt, and it's also a non-league series. So trying to give some guys some time so that they can show us what they can do. Brad Rodier's played well. We're happy with him. I thought he's done a good job. Jose De Leon's done a good job filling in. They're getting some experience and getting some playing time, and that doesn't hurt. But obviously, we missed some of the big bats.
The second game on Friday, Coach, your team won 11-1, an offensive outburst. You mentioned the home run by Brennan in the first inning, but it was sparked right off the bat from a home run by freshman Craig Aline, who led off the game. He also homered again later in the contest. You got great offensive performances from Brad Rodier and freshman Evan McDonald. What'd you see out of those guys?
Yeah, Craig's really blossoming. He gets better all the time. He was a major factor in winning that game, and he's a major factor on Sunday as well. So he's really starting to come into his own. He's doing some nice things, and we think he's got a real good future ahead of him. Evan McDonald went on a tear Saturday. He just hit the ball all over the park, which is a great sign. Again, another freshman, and we think we have a pretty good freshman class that's come in, and they seem to be doing it. Brad Rodier got a chance to play a little bit. I think I played him now 6 or 7 games in a row with the injuries to other people, and he's hitting about 250. He's played good defense in the outfield, laid down a bunt for us to move runners over. So that's what you want to see out of the young guys, is that they understand the concepts we teach here, and they're getting into the philosophies we believe in as hitters, and it's slowly coming together.
Another one of your young guys, freshman Chris Kashmir, had the start in that game. He went 6 2/3, gave up 1 unearned run. Pretty dominating performance by him, and he's quickly becoming one of your most consistent starting pitchers.
Yeah, Chris was a great pickup for us. We're very happy with him. Like you said, he gave no earned runs to Sin, because I think we made an error in the outfield that let a runner move up and ended up scoring. Or I would have let Chris finish that, and it would have been his second straight shutout for him. So he's gone 2 straight games with no earned runs also. So the kid's pitching well. We're very happy with him, and he is going to pitch in our rotation for this season. He's going to pitch conference games for us.
Turn the page forward to Saturday. The offense cooled off a little bit. You dropped the first game, a 9-0 setback. What happened in that contest?
Yeah, unfortunately, Johnny Chalupa started that game. He couldn't get out of the second inning. We did the same thing the day before, and it's one of the things that I'm trying to emphasize with them is they have to learn to keep a bad inning to a minimum. And we did that the first game on Friday, and then we did it again the first game on Saturday. It's like, you don't mind if they're going to score a crooked run, let it be 2, let it be 3, but not 8. 8's a little bit much, and we misplayed a couple balls in the outfield, and one thing led to another, and we walked a 9-hitter, and it's just those little things that you do wrong, and all of a sudden it's an 8-run inning. It should have never been an 8-run inning, and obviously 8-0 in the second inning in a 7-inning game, you're kind of in big trouble right away, and that's basically what happened. The good part of that is it gave me a chance to bring in some freshman pitchers, and I guess the bullpen gave up like 1 run for the rest of the game. They did a nice job. We had Evan Lane pitch, we had Joey Sedecase pitch. I'm trying to think who else, but basically the young freshman got a chance. P.J. Weeks, they all got some time out there, and it helped.
The second game on Saturday, your offense wasn't quite up to par, but it didn't really matter as Logan Frati did what he's kind of becoming expected to do, and that's throw a shutout. Another great performance by him, a career-high 12 strikeouts, only 2 hits allowed. His last 16 innings have been nothing short of dominant. What have you seen out of him?
Yeah, he gave up a hit, I think, in the 4th inning, and everybody was like, they're expecting to pitch a no-hitter, which is crazy. You can't be expecting that, but it was a second straight shutout, and we needed every bit of it because we weren't hitting at all the second game. And again, Craig Aline made a difference where he hit basically a double play ball, but he's so fast that he beat it out and a run scored on the play. And once Logan had the one run, I think that happened in the sixth. Logan needed 6 more outs, and I think he struck out 5 of the 6. So there was no thoughts of removing him or doing anything. And I had Brennan warming up in the bullpen just in case. But I told Brennan straight out, I said, until Logan basically gives up a run unless this game tied, I said, I'm basically not making a move. So, and like I said, Logan striking out the guys made it real easy for me to just sit there.
Is there anything different that you have seen from him that has led to these increased strikeout totals? I mean, 23 Ks over his last 16 innings is a huge number.
Well, even from the first day he came in here, he always had a great strikeout walk ratio. He's always been a kid that's, 5-1, 6-1 strikeout to walk ratio. He's always done that. Last year he didn't. That was his first year back from the injury, and I think he had like a 2-1 strikeout to walk ratio. So that's something Logan's always been good at, and obviously he's blossomed as a pitcher here. I remember him as a freshman. After his first 4 or 5 appearances, he had like a 10 ERA, and part of that was, he played out in Eastern Long Island there were 8th graders on the varsity, so he would throw 0-2 pitches right by hitters. And when he came here, he learned that, you have to pitch. You can't throw 0-2 pitches over the middle of the plate, because they're going to hit it. So he blossomed mentally. The kid's one of the smartest kids I've ever coached. He really is. He's just a brilliant kid, and he learned fast. And basically now I just stay out of his way.
One more question on Logan Frati, who was named NEC Pitcher of the Week for the second straight week. He's among the top 10 in ERA, but one of the things I find most fascinating about his season, he's only given up 1 extra base hit. Is there anything that you see as a coach that kind of lets you expect that kind of performance?
Yeah, I think he's just a dominating pitcher. I mean, this kid's got a great future ahead of himself, and he's just, he's a notch above most of what we've had here. I mean, we were talking about this the other day in our office about, who's the best pitcher that's been at FDU in the last 10, 15 years. And Logan obviously has to come to mind. Michael Eisen we talk about a little bit. But, Michael Eisen was a different type pitcher. He was more a contact guy. Obviously, Snyder out of bullpen was terrific. But Logan's more a power pitcher. I mean, he's probably the first true power pitcher I've had since I've been here as a coach. And it's nice to have. Nice to sit back and watch him striking people out. And, nobody has to do anything except watch.
As we turn our attention forward, you take on Sacred Heart this weekend in a return to conference play. What do you expect out of the Pioneers, one of the perennial powers in the NEC?
Yeah, they kind of put a spanking on LIU Brooklyn. I think they shut them out 3 to 4 games, and just had a shutout this week on a non-conference game against Yale. So, they're hot. They've won 5 in a row and something like 8 of the last 9. But, we've won 10 of our last 15, so we're playing pretty well too. Obviously, we're not going in there at full strength. That's a little bit of a bother and bothers me a little bit, but that's baseball. What are you going to do? So we have to have somebody step up and somebody, do something for us to help us win a couple of games out there. I mean, one of my lines always to the team is, on the road, your goal is to split. So hopefully we find a way to do that. I mean, it's going to be tough. So the next couple of weeks, we got Sacred Heart and Bryan. These are the big boys we're playing now, and we'll find out whether we can play with them.
And before we wrap up, why don't you tell us about April 24th, a special alumni event you're going to have out here at the Namoli Family Baseball Complex?
Yeah, every spring we always have an alumni event at one of the games where the guys come to the game. Some of our alumni come to the game and we honor them and stuff. And we're doing April 24th, we're going to do a First Knights Day, which is recognizing the Knights who were on the first teams here at FDU from the 1950s up to 1965. So we got a bunch of guys that are planning on coming, and we were starting to spread the word about it. They'll probably be introduced before the game and stuff. And, you talk about guys who started their careers here 60 years ago. I mean, it's incredible to think that some of them played 60-something years ago and a lot of them 50-something years ago. And they're going to come out here. We're going to have a day for them. We're going to have a little brunch for them prior to the game. And hopefully it'll be a good day for everybody and a day to honor our alumni and the tradition. I talk all the time about there's a rich tradition of FDU baseball that was very successful. It kind of tailed off for a few years, and we're doing what we can to get it back to the level it was at back in those days.
All right, Coach, thank you very much for your time. Good luck this weekend at Sacred Heart.